Question 6 is using a right-angled triangle, so that tells us that we're using probably either Pythagoras or SOHCAHTOA for right-angled trigonometry. So the first one is to draw and label the angle of depression on the diagram. Now the angle of depression is always from looking above or standing above and then looking down. So we talked about this where it's from the horizontal and it's the angle looking down, and we want the angle of depression to the boat, so that's this angle here, which is 64 degrees. So the angle of depression is always looking down from the horizontal. It is not this angle here, which is quite a common misconception. Okay, so it's 64 degrees from the horizontal looking down to the boat that I'm looking at. So that's the first one. So there's one mark for clearly labeling and drawing where that one is. And then the second part is 3 marks, and it's for calculating the distance from the boat to the base of the cliff. So I'm just going to draw out this triangle here, and I'm just going to draw it over here so that I can see it for my working. So I have a right-angled triangle. Now I know that this measurement here is 142, and this is what I'm trying to find, which is x, and this is my right angle. Now I can't find x out until I know one of the angles, but I do know that this angle here is 64, which is the angle of depression, in which case I know that this angle here is 90 minus 64, and therefore 26 degrees. Okay, so I can use that angle of depression. That's why they asked me to work that out previously, to use and find that angle. Okay, so I've now got my right angle triangle. I know an angle and I'm looking for a measurement and know the other measurement. This is the hypotenuse, the opposite and the adjacent. So I'm interested in the A and the O, which is tan. So it's tan of 26 degrees, which is equal to x over, and it's 142. And that means if I type it into my calculator, so I can just go straight to here, I can type it into numeric solve, for example, and I have tan of 26, and then my second equation is x over, and it's 142. And then I can press solve, and that gives me 69.3 to 3 significant figures. And that is meters. Okay, we're told in the question we're working with meters, so 69.3 meters. So for this one, it's 3 marks. One is for the answer, one is for the use of tan and correct use of tan, and the other is for finding that 26 as the angle that I'm needing to use in the triangle. Okay, so we can see there where the marks are given. And then the second part of this question says we need to find the angle of elevation from the buoy to the top of the cliff. So the angle of elevation is this one here. Okay, it's always from the horizontal and it's looking up. So it's this angle that I'm interested in finding. I could draw a non-right angle triangle, but I might as well keep it simple. So I'm going to draw a right angle triangle. This one is a little bit bigger. Okay, the boat kind of sits here, but I'm interested in this larger triangle going from the buoy all the way back up to the cliff. So I now know that this is 142, same as before. I don't know the angle up here. Okay, I can't just say that that is 26 because that would be the angle going down to the boat. So it's only this part that's 26. So I don't know what that full angle is. But I do know the length of the base, which is x plus the extra 100. So it's 169.3. A lot of people got question A wrong, but if you added on 100, then you could still get all the method marks for part B. And we're trying to find this angle here. That's what I'm trying to find. So again, if I label it up, this is my opposite, my adjacent, and my hypotenuse. So again, I'm using tan. So tan of x, which is the angle I'm trying to find, is equal to 142, which is the opposite, over the adjacent, which is 169.3. And then in the same way, I'm going to go into my calculator and I'm going to type in to numeric solver. This time, I don't know what the angle is. So that is my x. So tan of x. And that is equal to 142 over 169.3. And I need to remember to press solve, and it's 39.98. So to three significant figures, that is 40.0 degrees. Okay, so 40.0 degrees, which is my final angle. Again, it's 3 marks. One is for the answer rounded correctly to three significant figures. One is for the correct use of tan, and the other is for adding the 100 to your existing amount. If you got question A wrong, you could still pick up all of the marks for part B, because you would just use your values and then work them through in that way.